States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll call the order. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of November 8th meeting, December 3rd meeting as presented by the clerk.
And there's 11-14.
And that one too.
3 of them.
I'll second. On both.
All three?
All
Three.
three.
That's what I meant.
The other all three, right?
Councilor Trombley made a motion that the minutes of the 11/8/2012 regular town board meeting and the 11/14/2012 special budget town board meeting and the 12/3/12 special town board meeting be approved as submitted by the town clerk, seconded by Councilor Dino. Roll call, Councilor Lattimore,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Councilor Dennis,
Yes.
Councilor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Dino, Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Said that a while.
Yeah,
I was looking at his name, I was looking at your name right here. and I was like,
It's been about 8 years ago.
I know.
Okay, at this time, we will open up the floor to public comment. If anybody would like to address the board, please stand up, state your name, and address the board as a whole. Anybody? Okay, we will close public comment. I might as well go first. We'll go around the table this way, if you don't mind tonight, because I've got a few things that we definitely have to go over. First of all, I would like to read a letter that I received from Christopher Latrimore. It says, "Dear Supervisor Spiegel, I respectfully submit my resignation from the Town Board of Chazy as Town Councilman as of December 31st, 2012 in order to hold my newly elected position as Town Justice. It has been a great privilege to serve my town in this capacity. It has been particularly gratifying to work with Supervisor Spiegel, my fellow board members, Town Clerk Leo Oliver, and the outstanding staff here in Chazy. I'd like to thank you and all the residents in our community for providing me with the opportunity to work in such a great town and allowing me to continue to serve as your newly elected town judge." And I think we can all agree that Chris did an outstanding job on the board and appreciate all his years of service. And we wish him the best of luck in the new elected position as our new judge. And hope that things go very well and smoothly and he doesn't put any of us in jail. Congratulations on your election, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, why don't we talk about what we're going to do now at this point, since we're here, of what we would like to do as far as filling the position, the seat, or leaving it vacant. We have one more year on Chris's term. I want to get the board's feeling on what we would like to do as a board to secure an appointment, or actually leave the position vacant for another year.
I'm not opposed to leaving it vacant, but if we do appoint someone, I would like to appoint someone that has already served as a council person, someone who already knows the, you know, how everything goes and has a little bit of knowledge.
I think that's a good idea, or the only other thing I was gonna say, or someone that was, maybe has showed an interest before, you know, in running at least, or that may want to run this year for the position, if they were to kind of say so forward.
The only reason why I'd be opposed to that is that I view it as handpicking the possible next council
Well, no, I
person.
mean, well,
You know, that I.
no, but anybody could come
Right,
forward, yeah.
right, anybody can come forward.
Yeah.
Should we state something in the paper that we are interested in possibilities of people that would like to be on the town council, or do we want to do that amongst us at board meeting? Maybe throw some names out of people that we might want to approach, or how do we want to do this?
I think it's a good idea if we could get someone that was on before. That's a very good idea.
Just to fill the one-year
For
position?
1 year,
And then, do we have anybody,
in the past, we,
have to look and see who was on in the past that might be willing to step in,
right,
and I can probably come
We
up with
might-
some names at the,
We might even be able to put it in the paper and tell me if this is a good idea or not. Putting it in the paper that we're looking for past town board members who might like to fill the position for 1 year, that we wanted people with experience. Or is
Yeah,
that-
it's really not a,
should you
not
put
a
it,
job qualification, actually. I mean, it's
Okay.
something you might want to just at least publicize it. There is this vacancy, and you're looking to consider applicants, or consider people who are interested. However you want to do it, there really isn't.
yeah, be a good,
Yeah,
be a
put
good
a
way to
little
do
blurb in
it.
the paper saying,
okay, what we'll do is we'll,
With the understanding that, you know, if they feel like doing it for just 1 year, and they'd have to run in.
right, they would know that, okay. Okay, so that's what we'll attempt to do. The second letter I have is from Matthew Bell. It says, Dear Town of Chazy Supervisor, this is to inform you that I am resigning the position of Codes Zoning Office Enforcement Officer on Monday, December 31st, 2012 for the Town of Chazy due to recent unforeseeable circumstances. I have found the position to be very interesting and challenging. I have enjoyed working in the capacity of Code Zoning Enforcement area. So we were advised of this, probably, you know, this is his official letter that he gave me. We have contacted another town who came to us actually and want to do a shared service with us for a code enforcement officer, which is the town of Champlain. Because we knew we had to get somebody in here in a hurry, and it just happened that they came to us and said they have a position that's available. So we met, we interviewed Michael Tatro from the town of Champlain, and he's totally qualified as a code enforcement officer, and we will be able to do a shared service with Michael. He has agreed to come on the first of the year, and at the same salary. There's no increase or anything in salary for the position, so it's at the same salary we had budgeted. So we checked with Bill to see what our, you know, if we had to advertise for this position, because it's a shared service, we do not. So I guess it's the board's opinion, and we had kind of all agreed that Michael would start the 1st of January.
Except he really isn't going to be an employee of the town.
Right.
Of Chazy, and he's not gonna be getting an annual salary. That's the amount you're talking about is what
Is
this
gonna-
town will pay the town of Champlain for his salary. And because he's not, you know, you're not hiring him as an employee, you don't have to worry about competitive bidding or advertising or doing any of that thing. Any of those things, it's just simply shared service arrangement. And we might want to change the wording a little bit in that resolution where we say at an annual salary, it's just at the rate of $87.50, annual rate of $87.55.
And how can we control the number of hours that he's gonna be designating a week?
Well, we've agreed in that agreement that we have from the town of Champlain, it actually states that he's gonna be here from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Tuesdays, and from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Thursdays. Those are his public hours, so that people can come in and see him. And then whatever other time he wants to put in is just
But-
at his own discretion.
Didn't we ask for the people in the past that we wanted evening hours, because people getting done work, they would be able to come in and apply for their permits?
We can adjust the hours, I mean, he's very willing to work with us. We just kind of felt that it was better to have, I mean, the evening hours seemed to work okay, but we wanted to have more daytime where people knew that he was gonna be here one day in the morning and one day in the afternoon. And he's very flexible, like I said, he's willing to take a phone call and meet people here. We can change it if we feel that we wanna go back to an evening hour, one day evening, we can do whatever, he's willing to work with us, so.
I would think that maybe one morning and then one evening. I don't know, I mean, in the wintertime, I know that it's
It's very slow in the winter.
it's slow in the wintertime, but it starts picking up in the spring and summer, but I'm just thinking of people that work, 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. Rather than missing that day from work or taking time off, they could do it after hours.
I think what we'll do is, I mean, if it's up to you guys, but I mean.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean,
He was willing to
Yeah.
meet by appointment,
Yeah,
someone unable to meet his hours, he's,
and he's a full-time, I mean, what he does this full-time. He starts in Champlain for a couple hours, he goes to the village of Champlain, then he'll come here, and then he'll go back. I mean, this is what he does full-time, it's not a part-time job for him, this is his full-time job, so he's only 5 minutes
So
away
he's-
from.
now could somebody from Chazy go to the town office in Champlain and get a building permit for Chazy? Would they, since it's shared services, could he do that outside the town?
I suppose, I mean, I don't know of any
we,
law against it or anything.
we hadn't discussed that.
Yeah, we hadn't discussed that, but that's a very good
Good idea.
idea. I mean, if somebody's close to
Something is-
Champlain from work.
Are they
or
document
anything,
specific with the letterhead and?
well, couldn't we provide some of those down?
Well,
in the
actually, they
office?
can go online and get the,
The
Paperwork.
applications.
yeah.
I'll have to ask him if he
Yeah, I
would
don't know.
mind if somebody had to go in and get a building permit. I mean, he knows how to run the BAS system. He runs it in Champlain now. He's very familiar with it. He does his own letters. He doesn't want anybody doing his letters. He wants to do this all strictly himself. But comes highly recommended, and if we want to start with these hours, if we feel that we want to do, maybe in the summertime, maybe do one day in the evening, or,
What are his hours in Champlain? Do you know?
it's, like I say, he's got certain days he's gonna be in Champlain, the village of Champlain, and he just designated right now Tuesday for us and Thursday.
Right.
So, I know New York State's very happy. I'm gonna see if there's any grants out too that might be able to take up some, our share of services with the town of Champlain, because they may give us a portion of the money, I don't know, but I know New York State is pushing it very hard for shared services, so let's see if they might wanna help us with the amount that
With
we.
the extent.
Mhm. It's worth a shot.
Okay, we do need to set up a date for the end of year meeting so that we can finalize the last bills. We were thinking of the 27th of December, and we can do it earlier in the day so people don't have to be tied up. If that date is good for everybody, I'll tell you what day it's on. December 27th is on a Thursday. Does that not work for anybody? And what time would we like to do it? I mean, we don't have to do it at 7 o'clock, we can do it at 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever's convenient. It's only gonna take 15, 20 minutes, just to, unless something urgent comes up.
I could be here as early as 5:15. I don't know what everybody else's schedule is.
5:15, 27th work for everybody?
Yeah. I'm flexible.
Okay, so we'll put 5:15. Okay. I did go to a Pfizer transitional meeting today at the chamber office in Plattsburgh. Just to give you a kind of an update, the CDC is the new real estate company that is marketing the facility. They have an aggressive plan that they put together to market the facility, and Mark Berry has agreed that at the February meeting, he will come and just kind of give us an overview of who they're targeting for the facility. And but that's a new update is that they have been given the opportunity to do the marketing, and it sounds like they've got quite a plan in place, and we're hoping the best. And
What happened to the potential tenants? Did they,
nothing, according to what they were saying today, a lot of these people are looking for smaller spaces, like 20,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet, and this facility is so large. They had a person that really wanted to come in, but he didn't want to really employ a lot of people. They're really looking for somebody that is willing to come in and maybe put 100 people in there, right to work, you know, I mean, whatever they do, pharmaceutical or whatever employment that they want to do, but they really want to market the place out to somebody that's going to take up either part of the facility, and then it's like they were saying today, it's a very expensive facility to maintain. When it's in full operation, it's about $8 million a year. To just heat, lights, maintenance, etc. And right now, they're working with a budget of 1.2 million and they're keeping it in very, very good shape, they said, but it's, you know, they're pinching every penny they can because it's really expensive to keep the place heated enough so that it doesn't mold, or air conditioned enough, or whatever. So they've had some inquiries. They said there's a lot of people looking for the 10,000 square foot places or 20,000, but this place is obviously very, very large, and it kind of scares them. So they're still going to be going after a lot of different companies.
Now, what happened to the last company that was in there? Did they not renew with them, the marketing company?
Well, I think they wanted to change them because they, again, were not happy with what they were doing, so.
Yeah.
So they actually went out on an RFP, and CDC was the one that gave the best plan of what they wanted to do, so they did give them the contract, so.
hope for the
But,
best.
Mark,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay, the other thing that I want to go over tonight is I gave, and I'm not sure if everybody has a copy of this, but for the planning board changes, or the zoning board changes. I made a copy again, and I got some notes scribbled on it, don't mind the notes. These are my own notes. These were the changes that came forth. I don't know if everybody got a chance to look at them, I'm hoping you did. I have made some,
Here,
there was only a couple little changes that I had recommended.
I'll share Kathy's.
Okay, great, thanks, Mike. Under section 840B, they suggested changing 45 calendar days to 62 calendar days. I guess the recommendation was because the state will allow 62 days to do a review. I mean, personally, if I'm trying to put a new business into Chazy, and everybody's in a rush, and you know, you have to go through this procedure, but I just personally can't see extending it just because the state does that, you know, to wait an extra, 10, 15 days because the state allows it. I like to see it stay the 45 days and try to get these people processed. I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't know what your opinion is on that.
Well, there's nothing saying that it can't take place sooner. That's just the maximum period.
I just worry that if we put that in there, that everybody's gonna go to 62 days and they're gonna be screaming because they wanna get in and they wanna get going, and, I mean, even 45 days is quite a long time for,
But realistically, it takes about 60 days anyhow. It takes about 2 months, right, Tom, on average?
It
Or no?
It really doesn't. Normally, majority of the time, when we have a public hearing, we act on it then. So we schedule, first month we go through the review, the preliminary review, accept the environmental impact statement, then schedule a public hearing. And normally, I'd say 99% of the stuff that we've approved is gone that night of the public hearing. The only difference between the 45 days and the 60 days is 2 months. So we wouldn't have to schedule if we needed more time. More than likely, if we needed more time, it would be scheduled at the next meeting, which would be 30 days or 31 days or whatever. But it's just, the 45 days is an odd number. It goes, we'd have to schedule in the middle of a month somewhere. I don't think it'd make any difference at all to the approval. We're doing it in one day.
You know, you're trying to start a business and you're trying to get it up as quickly as you possibly can, and I've heard some complaints about people waiting, I know it's tough on the planning board, they gotta do their job.
The town has got a consultant for the cell towers. The application came February 2011, and we just approved it the other night. That's
Back
a
and forth.
classic case of dragging your feet, and that's the consultant that the town has hired.
I tend to agree with, what Scott is saying. I know that it probably doesn't take you that long to do it, but, you might even find yourself in a position where some people saying, well, we have 62 days, so,
The place it would come into play is if it's a controversial type of application, and we would need more time to gather information. Right now, we have 45 days from the public hearing to act on it. This would give us 62 to act on it, to gather information.
But you're saying that 45 days is more than enough time for you to get your information and to act upon it, correct?
Yeah. But we don't have an awful lot of controversial type of applications coming before us.
In the past, have you had to go way beyond the 45 days, or?
We had one controversial junkyard that came in, and they withdrew the application, so that didn't become an issue. But it would just give us more time on a situation where we'd need to gather more information, and give us an extra 15 days to gather more information.
But you haven't really ran into that?
No. And it wouldn't be a factor. We're not gonna take 62 days just because we're allowed to take 62 days. We're allowed to take 45, and I can't remember when we've ever taken 45.
So 45 is no big issue then. If we leave it at 45, it's not.
Again, it would be just, if it's an issue that we would need to have more time to gather information, we would have that.
Yeah, but you said you would have it anyway, you'd extend it to the next monthly meeting. Because you had to gather more information.
But we would have, if we needed to get more information, we would have the luxury of 2 months instead of 1 month to do it.
And that would be the only advantage.
Yeah.
So we want to change that, or, that's just my suggestion on that one.
I'm in favor of keeping it at 45 because I don't.
Anybody opinions?
Is,
Gary, Chris, anybody? Nothing?
is that the general feeling of the board, your board, that they want it extended to?
Yeah, we discussed it, and
What's the process if you are going to exceed that 45-day period?
it would have to be mutually agreed upon between the applicant, and we've had a couple of those where we mutually agreed to extend time.
And what happens if there's not that mutual agreement?
Then we have to make a decision, one way or the other, in 45 days.
so there's no way that we can file for an extension?
No, there has to be a mutual agreement between the applicant and the planning board. So either party could say, no, we're not doing it.
Have you run into that situation?
Yeah, we have, where we've mutually agreed, and I can't really recall what it was at the time, but it was something with permitting, and I don't think it was a mine. It was a while ago.
You think? Would you wanna-
See, it's a tool for the planning board to gather more information. It's not a tool for the planning board to discourage any kind of commercial business.
As long as we can come up with a, agreement, I mean,
I know what you're saying, but from what Tom's telling me, that's not gonna speed up the process. If it's 45 days or 62 days as far as for a new venture moving into town, so. And I think what Tom is saying, the 62 days just gives the board a little bit more comfort rather than being pressured.
The last issue that we had was with the synthetic cannabis, which, in that case, the planning board would have been in a better position if they had the 2 months to get more information, because it was such a controversial item. The businesses that come before us, like I said, most of them are approved or acted on at that public hearing night. So we don't even take one day it's the day of the public hearing. We don't use the 45.
we wanna go along with that recommendation.
Yeah,
Keep it.
I'll go along with that.
I think-
Yeah.
It's their,
Yeah.
it's their board.
Another thing that I wanted to point out, which is a real minor change, but if you go to the second page under farm winery, it says a licensed operation to manufacture and wholesale wine, but we do have some wineries here that retail wine. So I think that we should state wholesale or retail.
I think it's just sell is what I put down
Or
here.
do you want to change the wording to sell?
To sell, I think that would do it,
Manufacture and sell wine,
yeah.
okay? I just would like to take that word wholesale out of there because it really limits it.
True.
When I sent the stuff down to the county, I changed the wording to sell.
Okay, that's better. Is there any other parts of this that anybody has questions on, or?
With the wineries that we have now, do any of them import any of their grapes? As far as, is it necessary to put in from New York State grown or produced grapes? Is that gonna be
I think that language is in the Department of Agriculture.
oh, it is?
And I think that they're governed by their licenses,
Yeah,
and it
I
has to
think
be
so
New
too.
York State grapes,
Yeah.
but they do import them from Long Island and from the Finger Lakes area
Yeah.
into this region.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're getting any grapes, or can they get any grapes and be advertised as a New York State winery.
Okay. Just ask.
Any other things on this list? Well, we had our public hearing bill. Do we have to make a resolution accepting this with the changes that were discussed?
Yes, except you've got to do your secret review too. You're going to adopt that tonight, right?
Oh, resolution.
You seek a resolution just declaring yourself as lead agent, but then you're not, then you've got to have the actual review and make your finding of,
Okay, so-
probably a finding of no.
Is that going to be done just as a
Environmental
resolution,
impact.
or does it be a local amendment? or something?
Yeah, it should be a local law amendment, because that's what it is. It's
So that won't be done tonight, it'll just be the secret.
yeah.
Yeah, how do we do the seeker? I mean, do we have forms that we have to fill out?
Yeah, there's a short form.
Do you, remember I sent you an email on
Yep.
that? Do you have that
One and two.
ready?
Yeah, it was out last week, so but I can do that, send that up to you for the form 1 and 2.
So we want to do that the first meeting in January then?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. You okay with that, Tom?
I'm fine, yeah. And then you'll act on this after the seeker review?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do that the same night.
Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything that I've got for tonight. And we'll move on to, go down Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, okay, we do have one bid that we need to open for the piano. All right, I'll be picking it up tomorrow. It says Robert G. Dunlop. The town of Chazy recognizes Robert G. Dunlop for his dedicated service as town justice, serving from January 2005 to December 2012. And he's going to be leaving very shortly to go down to his daughter's for Christmas. So on Wednesday here around 10 o'clock, we're going to present him with this plaque and a cake before he leaves. So just
Very good.
And we have one bid.
One bid from Patricia Neverett, I guess, for Sacred Heart Church, $50 bid for the piano. It's the only bid we received.
Okay.
Decorations go with it?
Okay, so do you have anything tonight?
Well, you pretty much covered just about everything. The other, how'd you end up with the lightning strike at the water tower with in charts and anything yet?
Yes, I'm trying to remember, refresh my mind too.
We got $607.
Oh, because of everything.
600, yeah, $607. Yeah.
We got a little bit back from insurance.
You got a little
Yeah,
bit.
after every
Because we
deductible.
had deductibles.
Yeah.
It was $2,500 deductible, so we only ended up with $607.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
$607.
Then, just on the gravel pit and is it Paddle Road?
Jerry, or,
Tim will
Timmy's gonna bring that up.
cover that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
That's about all I got.
Kathy?
You covered everything else.
Just want to again say congratulations to Chris and
Thank you,
we'll miss you.
thank you,
Well, good luck
Same
on your
here.
future endeavors.
thank you.
Decorations look really great. I continue to receive a lot of compliments on those. I'd like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. The only concern that I have is on the Stetson Road where Rover's Farm is doing their mining, and I noticed that some signs have been put up with truck entrance and so forth or whatever. But when you come up over the hill, when you're coming from Champlain going into Chazy, and you come up that hill, if you catch that hill, you know, if they're pulling out with a big truck, you don't have much time to the time when you get over that hill and you see it. And it reminds me of the situation we had with the Calvitis mine, where the curb came into play, and we had them put up a flashing light whenever trucks were going in and out. So I'm just wondering why that wasn't thought of or a recommendation, because I do see it as a potential for a hazard. And, you know, given in the wintertime, or even right now with all the mud that's in the roads, from the farmers and the rain, if you had to slam on your brakes, you'd really be in trouble. So I'm just wondering why that wasn't in that.
I thought lights were recommended, weren't they?
No, we didn't recommend lights there, and the information that we have received on that is that the line of sight was sufficient, and
If you're in a truck, probably,
yeah, that
in a
was one
car.
of that was one of the things that the truckers could see everything that was going on. So you're,
But my thought is, you know, if the truck pulls out, and there's a car coming, and they're coming very, very slow. And when you crest that hill, you don't have, I mean, that driveway is very close to the crest of that hill. You don't have much distance to really do it, and if there's a car coming from the other way, there's really no place to go.
I thought you discussed
There was no discussion on
No,
Robert's mine.
no, I'm talking about out there.
No, there was no discussion about that.
And that was first brought up.
No, and I know it was a big issue with Calvitis and.
it was, it's an issue with
Because of the
Calvitis
curb.
because of the curve. That
Uh-huh.
there is the trucker, nobody can see anything. Here, at least the trucks, when they're coming out, can see if there's any oncoming traffic.
But it doesn't mean that the trucker is going to wait and not pull out. I mean,
Well,
I
We would hope that they would be
Experience.
prudent enough to do that,
I
but,
know, but I will tell you that I've experienced a lot of situations with the big truckers where, you know, they still pull out. And it's up to the little guy to stop.
yeah, we requested the signs with the little flags
Mhm.
on, which I think you put up.
There's no flags on, but the signs are up. At least I don't think there's, I didn't notice a flag on,
No,
but
he's supposed to put his own flags up.
okay, but the signs are up.
Yeah, we went and put signs up.
Yeah. So that's,
Yeah.
you know, for someone who travels that road morning and night, you know, I'll be the first to say, I have a big concern with it.
It's something that maybe I could,
At this point, you could approach the
yeah,
owner
maybe
and
I
see
can
if he
call
would
him.
put lights up, and I'm
Dutch
sure
and
that
just
they would do
suggest that maybe he put the same type of device that's at Calvice's and with the barrel and the flashing light and see
And it
if
would
he's
only
willing to
be
do it.
when they're using it, I mean, that's, you know, when they're mining, when they're pulling them. But
I can give him a call and see if he's
I
willing to
can
do it. He's
understand,
a pretty
what
reasonable guy, so.
I can understand what Kathy's saying. All you have to do is go up here to exit 41, and you sit there. And I'll guarantee you, you're gonna see cars come off exit 41, and they do not stop.
okay, all you have to do is go right over here to North Farm Road and Stetson Road, and you can see the same thing, and be a
So
truck
it's gonna-
stop. Stop it, stop
I
sign.
know, because I delivered mail for 28 years down that road. And almost every day, I came through once a day, almost every day, someone pulled out in front of me, off exit 41, either way.
I'll get a hold of Dutch and see if he's willing to do that. I mean, I think he's pretty reasonable with us and he'll do what he can.
Thank you, I appreciate that. No, that's all,
Okay,
thank
Jerry?
you.
Just a couple of things, the Christmas decorations look very good, thank you. Everybody that put them up. The insurance, I was talking to Staub a little bit about it. We're going out to bid for the town insurance, so I've been kind of meeting with, Brian Lapierre from there wants to come do a presentation, and I've been in contact with Northern and the agency also. So they're gonna be putting together proposals for us. And NBT has also put it out to bid with other companies, I don't believe other than Selective, who we're with now, so that is in the works. I was also approached by someone from Ambit Energy that would like to come talk to us about switching to Ambit versus, I think we're with Energy Things now.
Are we in a contract with our present?
With a flat rate. I don't know how long our contract is for, but we did negotiate a flat rate, which was saving us, it is saving us some money, so. But I don't know if, what is our contract date on that? I'll have to pull the contract and find out. We'll pull it out and find out how long we're bound to it.
Are you bound to them?
Yeah, because you have to sign whether you want a flexible rate or a flat rate, and we chose a flat rate.
You sign on for so many years, and sometimes they'll.
Well, because
penalize
Ambit, you
if
don't have to
break.
sign. You
No,
can
I know,
quit
no,
tomorrow.
I know, but not with the other
Okay.
suppliers.
All right. They were just confident that they could,
Mhm.
I've switched to them and I've
I have
saved
to.
a lot of money. So I don't know if we want to set something up at least, or if you can find out when we're up.
Yep, I'll find out, and I'll give you a call. And
Okay. All right. And then the only other thing I had is, and I'm not sure if we should wait now, is an abandoned house in West Chazy that the neighbors feel there's a safety issue.
We'll probably give it a week or so, and we'll have it addressed.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's it.
Chris?
First of all, I would like to acknowledge both the Chazy boys and girls hockey team for another successful year, and the boys bringing home another state title. So congratulations to both teams. The repairs on the garage roof, have they been completed or?
Not yet, no. He's been busy with the decorations and all kinds of little things, so we did get the metal in, no. So we're just kind of waiting for when he gets to time to get up there.
Did we come up with an actual cost as far as for the renovations for that garage, what that cost?
Yeah, I think the strapping was around $700 and the metal was $3,800 for the metal. And we're gonna be doing it with David Loop and some highway personnel.
Yeah, I saw from the last month's meeting that the highway guys were over there helping them, so. So I just didn't know how that was, if it was completed, but he will have it done before the snowfall.
Depending on the weather. Either that or it's gonna hold off till spring, one or the other, but,
Can it hold off until spring?
well, I mean, it's gonna leak. I mean, we'd like to get it done before then, but depending on the weather and how the highway department's gonna be, we're getting up there and putting a few days in. And
Okay.
it's been leaking like that for years, so.
Has it been leaking?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
it's a bad
aware of
shape.
that. So what the heck are we waiting so long for?
I'd like to save money, Chris. We're all about saving money here.
Well, something like that, without saving money.
We're doing our best with what we have.
All right. And for Tim, how does the highway department stand on the Clark Street, the old Cider Mill Road, as far as being posted as snowmobile roads? Is that,
You've given me the local law, and if you drafted it, I didn't bring it tonight, so we'll have to. It's not,
Okay.
you've got to adopt the local law yet, adding those two roads.
Okay.
Before you post
but
it.
it's, no, you don't see an issue with that?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I already talked to one of the snowmobile guys, he asked me about, it was gonna be all right.
Okay. Will the highway department be accepting Christmas trees this year?
Yep.
So you'll have a designated spot like every year?
Yeah, put the sign right up, drop right off at
Let me know too, and I can throw that in the paper too, just to let people know.
Okay.
the snow metal one, because we put them through our checker.
So you want, tinsel, is tinsel okay, or you want tinsel
Yeah,
off?
tinsel won't hurt it, that won't hurt it, as long as there's no metal shafts or anything slid up in to hold them up, right? You know, some will make them hold off.
Okay. Now with the new sand salt storage facility, is there still any sand available for residents if they want to go to the town garage? And the location that it would be at is,
You rig the buildings, get salt and sand, and then there's another pile outside without any.
so they could get it from inside the building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just so that if we do get an ice storm or something, people would know that it's available. Is the town gonna be doing the Christmas light contest this year, Scott?
That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Would we like to do it again this year? I mean, I can throw it together in a hurry if we do. It's up to you guys, if we wanna do it. I just gotta contact a few sponsors and see if I can get some people to sponsor it again. Be more than willing to go out and do the judging again, or if anybody wants to do it. I think we should. I think it's a nice
I
thing
think
to
it's a
do.
good gesture personally, but.
Why don't we do it, and I'll see if I can get a few sponsors together in a hurry, and I'll put it in the paper that we're gonna judge probably end of next week, hopefully, so that we can get it done, and we'll make sure it gets done one way or another. We'll give a first place, second place, and third place, and then one for the best decorated tree, and also we'll do one for the best business decorations.
So follow the same.
Yeah.
As we all have. Okay. And I would also like to say whoever decorated in the town hall, they did a nice job, it looks nice. I think this is the most decorations I've ever seen in here, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking. I would also like to let everybody know that I have completed the course, taking the bench, and I successfully completed the course and received my certificate, which will allow me to sit on the bench effective January 1st of 2013. I'd also like to let everybody know that there was some controversy there as far as that there would be a cost associated with the newly elected judge. And in my situation, in my circumstances, there was absolutely no cost to the residents of the town. The course was free and I was able to stay with family for the week in Albany, so there was no cost affiliated at all for that.
Thank you.
I already handed in my letter of resignation, but at this time, I would also like to take the time and thank Judge Dunlop for all his years of service and dedication that he's done for the town. It's a thankless job, getting up, wee hours of the night, early morning, and I just want to thank Bob and for him sitting down and talking to me and going over and telling me some of the ropes involved. So that means a lot to me, and I want to thank him for that. And I would like to wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And once again, I want to thank everybody for all their support.
Yes.
Okay, again, on that Wayne Lapierre's Road, Kelly Donahue got a hold of us, and he still wasn't happy with the name that we had, because there's too many Maple streets.
His name was already taken, apparently, Maple Way or whatever we
Too
wanted.
many Maples. So he gave us 3 choices that he come up with, because we told him to come up with the names and we'll pick one. You got Wayne Lane, Syrup Lane, and Private Lane.
I like private lane.
Oh my goodness.
All we have to do is pick one, it's for 911 and it's,
You want to call it Syrup Lane? He does sugar.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say,
No.
yeah.
Syrup Lane sounds good to me too.
Sugar Bush Drive, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
Or it's gotta
just
be,
do it.
because there's other sugar, but it's gotta be one of those names, so we gotta pick
That's
like
right.
Syrup
That's right.
Lane or
Yeah.
whatever.
Syrup Lane.
Every time you throw it at him, he's like, no, it's already been used, no, it's already been used.
Advertise the product.
So we'll do
There you
Syrup
go,
Lane?
advertise the product, there you go.
Okay, so you gonna do Syrup Lane?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, so far we've used 51 loads of sand, believe it or not, with just that little bit of snow we've got a couple times.
Mm,
Won't take long.
It's not.
On the Macadam Road, I got the paper from the planning board. The speed, I'll have to check with the state for them to approve. As far as the entry signs, they have to buy the signs and we can put them in. But as far as you saying that the town put Macadam Road as a priority for maintenance and repair, all our roads are treated the same. And there's gonna be posted weight limit signs and he's gonna have to follow it.
Yeah.
We run our trucks in and out of our pit, that's right there, and we've never had a problem, so he shouldn't have. He's running legal.
No.
The information that we got was part of it was paved and part of it was gravel and oil.
Well, it's chip sealed over paint, but it still has paint under it. Yeah. Okay. As of December 31st, I'm gonna be putting Jeff Dino in as my deputy highway superintendent. And we were talking about the road policy that we have. It was adopted in 1990. Talking about the town would accept roads if they weren't paved. I'd like to see if we can switch that to they have to be paved. I told Chris, say I go in, I pave a road, it costs me $45,000 for a little private road going in. I don't leave me much to pave my other roads.
Yeah, really.
But I thought we'd had that discussion before where, I mean, we don't have to have, it's not a necessity to have roads paved, right?
No, but if you're gonna accept it, it'd be nice if they already paid for the brunt of it, because you're gonna make off and sell a lot of locks, don't you?
I thought our reasoning for not changing it the last time was to not discourage, development. Say if somebody wanted to put a housing development, or, you know, sell some lots for housing development, and,
What's
you
in
know,
our
then they had to invest $100,000 in paving the road, that,
But if we're going to assume the responsibility for the road, I don't think
Right.
it's fair that the town should have to assume
Was
that
it
it's
our-
well,
their
no, we don't, but we were saying
Galleries.
before, as I recall, that
Mhm.
you don't have to live on a paved road.
No, you
You
don't.
know, it's not mandatory that every road be paved.
Didn't our policies run into, when a road was turned over to the town?
Right. That's what he's
And
talking about.
then that's when
It has to
our,
be,
our requirements
right,
came in.
right.
The way it works right now, after the town of Chazy has accepted a street or road, it may, at its discretion, bear the cost of a seal coat or other surface when it is determined necessary, and is able to budget for the cost of the surface. And what Timmy would like to say is we don't accept the road unless it's
Right,
It's paid.
paid first.
Right.
because it must be really difficult to plow a dirt road.
Yeah, you have some in West Chazy now, off of the O'Neill Road.
Yeah, we don't plow them are not.
Seasonal.
Oh, those are town, those are private
Them are all
roads, really?
private drives.
Okay, I thought they were town roads.
They're all private.
You know,
Do we have any dirt roads,
Kingsley,
but do we plow it?
yeah,
Oh,
real
we do.
careful.
Oh.
On that road, is that still?
Polino,
Polino
Polino?
Road?
No,
Polino Road,
that's, isn't that,
up range here.
oh, okay,
Yeah, we got a house way up on the end,
okay.
Details, at Kingsley, Pleasant Valley. But out Tremblay Lane. But when we final part of that down,
Mhm.
we saw the second house in there,
Right, right.
Rovers.
Yeah.
Turn around there.
So that's a town road.
We
right
do
there, the
plow
Trumbull
that?
Lane?
Yeah.
Trumbull Lane is a town road,
But it's all the way seasonal.
yeah.
Right
Is
past
it,
Brass
Kingsley
House.
is seasonal too, isn't it?
Seasonal,
The other end?
the other end, yeah, the other end, actually, we have closed right now, because the bridge actually took control of the bridge
That's
from the county.
Mhm.
So as far as working, we got signs up saying it's closed, if they go through, well, if something happens, actually, it's
Yeah.
responsible.
Mhm.
You know,
So do we?
So now we need to make a decision on, and your recommendation is that we say they must have it paid.
City should be paid.
Mhm.
And if the guy's gonna go and sell a bunch of lots, he should figure in their selling price to cover the.
That's right. Mhm. But certainly an expense I wouldn't want to see passed on to the taxpayers. You know,
So this is this currently a resolution? We just need to change it by resolution, is that correct, Bill?
If it's a resolution, I haven't seen it. Yes, that'd be correct if it's.
Yeah, it is a resolution. R90-49. So we would change basically number 6 to state that the town of Chazy will not accept a street or road unless it is,
But I don't even know if we really need to, because it says only after the town of Chazy has accepted a street or a road. So there's
I
nothing
know.
here that says that they need to ever accept it.
right, but I can see, you know, I can see a
Tim
big
could say, I'm not
development.
gonna accept it till it's paid with it, the way that it reads right now, at least that's the way I'm interpreting it.
Well, I think you should put it as part of like number 1 or 2, where you've got the width is a minimum of 3 rods or 50 feet wide, and number 2 is the primary road bed will be constructed 2 feet deep in gravel or like material. And then you should put in there, whatever the paving requirement would be. And then 5 is the acceptance of the roads by the town board will be subject to inspection approval by superintendent of highways, and 6 would just be eliminated.
Take that.
But you need to put that out there so somebody understands what those requirements are gonna
Right.
be.
Minimum inch and a half at least.
There you go, whatever that, yeah, asphalt.
so you wanna come up with some wording for the first meeting in January so we can, you know, put in for
Do
number
it.
2, the change that you'd like? what the minimum requirements for paving are, and we'll eliminate number 6, and just come up with the wording for, you know, how much paving that's gotta be, et cetera. Is that all right? Okay. Have anything else, Dave?
Oh, that's it.
Okay, Bill, do you have anything?
No, nothing.
Okay, we'll move on to the resolutions.
It's 10, I think it says, actually backed up, only if it's needed or necessary.
Excuse me.
Maybe we changing it, I mean, otherwise, you could have a flat parcel and somebody has to put, you have to.
Oh, Addition is necessary.
There you go.
Okay, the first resolution is CCRS recognition as a Blue Ribbon School.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Councilor Trombley. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor Lattimore.
Yes.
Councilor Dino.
Yes.
Councilor Devlin.
Yes.
Councilor Trombley.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one I have, did you have a chance to check that, Bill? This
Yes.
resolution? Sorry. Seeker resolution for proposed local law amending the town of Chazy zoning law.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Councilor Devlin. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor Lattimore.
Yes.
Councilor Dino.
Yes.
Councilor Devlin.
Yes.
Councilor Trombley.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Third one is planning board appointment, Thomas Dasnell, reappointment, actually.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilor Devlin made the motion, and second was?
Or, Lattimore, sorry. Lattimore.
Okay, Councilor Devlin made the motion, second by Councilor Lattimore, on the appointment of Thomas Dasnell to a 5-year term to expire 12/31/2017. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor Lattimore,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Councilor Devlin,
Yes.
Councilor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Now, this next resolution, seeing as how you're giving me a name, I can make this resolution to rescind that other resolution and rename it as Syrup Lane.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilor Trombley made the motion, seconded by Councilor Lattimore. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor Lattimore,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Councilor Devlin,
Yes.
Councilor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is accepting bid for surplus equipment, for $50.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Lattimore made the motion, Councilor Devlin seconded. Any further discussion? That bid, by the way, was for Sacred Heart Church. Councilor Lattimore,
Yes.
Councilor Dino,
Yes.
Councilor Devlin,
Yes.
Councilor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
2012 year-end meeting will be on December 27th at 5:15 PM.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, Counselor Dino seconded. Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Speaker.
Yes.
Next one is for the organizational meeting in January. The 14th is late, I don't know if you want to move it to the 7th, the week before, which would be the 1st instead of the 2nd Monday.
If everybody's okay with that, we can do that?
Yeah.
Is that all right? So we're gonna do it the first Monday in January for the organizational meeting. 7 o'clock.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Counselor Trombley made the motion, seconded by Counselor Lattimore, that the organizational meeting will be on Monday, January 7th at 7 PM.
Actually, it was Dino. Jerry,
Pardon?
Jerry.
You made the motion?
Yep.
What did I say?
Me.
You mean?
I did.
Yeah.
Jerry made the motion, and who seconded it?
No,
No, Bucky made the
I
motion, Jerry seconded it.
Oh,
Oh! You got me all confused. Counselor Trombley made the motion, and Counselor Dino seconded.
There you go.
Gotta keep me straight. Been here too long. Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Speaker.
yes.
Okay, next one is shared services contract with Town of Champlain for code officer.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, second by Counselor Devens. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Speaker.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is zoning, fire, and building code officer appointment, Michael Tatro Jr., and in there, change the January 1st, 2013 at the annual cost of $87.55 instead of salary.
Mhm.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Speaker.
Yes.
Next is 2012 budget transfers.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Counselor Devens. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yep.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is payment of claims.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Lattimore made the motion, seconded by Counselor Devens. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor Lattimore,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Counselor Devens,
Yes.
Counselor Trombley,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes. Just want to mention that Sam Dyer did call earlier and mentioned that he would not be here, but wanted to let us know that the county tax rate would be increasing by 2%.
Wow.
Well, it was less than that in paper today.
Was it?
It was 120, below 2.
Okay, well, this is just what was passed on to me, so
Okay.
hopefully we will 2%, so.
Good.
Did you see any paper today? Did you see any paper today?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.